Hey everybody, welcome to the Stardock stream. I'm here with Paul, lead designer on Galciv 3. And we're looking at some pretty cool stuff, Paul. What are we looking at?
Well, these are well, first off we're going to show off 1.5 and the
The DLC.
the Precursor Worlds DLC.
Yeah.
But this was something that Derek had left on here from his modding thing that he never got to, and this is somebody's mod who I don't even know who did this, and I'm very embarrassed because I didn't realize this was on here. But it's too cool to turn off, so I left it on. So somebody will probably in the chat might actually recognize this mod and chime in. But they had made a bunch of ship styles and full ship sets. These are amazing.
Wow, that's really cool.
And
Looks like a kind of an insect.
yeah, well, this is just one of the styles. It looks like all of them, all of the races have their own style. This is I can tell you a lot of work. Whoever did this. And I'm embarrassed that I don't know. I should know. I really should know this, but I do not. So hopefully somebody might chime in and let me know. Look at that. Is that
Awesome.
I'm embarrassed that I don't know. I should. That is amazing. Whoever did this, thank you. Thank you very much for doing this.
Yes.
Oh man. How is it I've never seen this? It must be
Dude,
on.
what is that?
It must be on the on gaming on Gaming Nexus or something, because I've never seen this
Oh, that one's cool.
in Steam forums or anything. Yeah, these are all amazing. Congratulations. Anyway, so I guess I'm kind of belittling our content by showing this. Oh, look at that. I mean, these are pretty high poly, so I would be concerned about this mod affecting performance a tiny bit, but oh my goodness. I got to get Brandon to check this out. Anyway, so yeah, so we have 1.5 just went out, and that changed a bunch of things. We added coercion. Much hotly debated, currently hotly debated, we removed the large empire penalty, which I thought would be the one thing that no one would ever care about, because all I ever heard is how much everybody hated it.
And they care, huh?
Well, somebody always and the truth is, there's a lot of really good arguments as to why we should bring it back. My problem is the way it was implemented was not realistic. It was not.
Right.
All it was doing was affecting approval. It was easily countered by just, one starbase module per planet, or, so it kind of felt weak. And most people hated it. And it was hard to explain, well, why am I losing production? So I wouldn't mind coming up with a more realistic. Is this the same style, but just, but different colors? These are beautiful, man. So, and it added coercion, which is this little number here. We also added this as a little thing, as raw production. You can actually see now the raw production of your empire, which was missing. So you can see when I go down here, I'm now got a 5% coercion because I'm stealing some resources from it. And that, in this case, is only 1 point. If I go all to 1, I'm essentially stealing from both of the other categories, and I'm up to 25%. So this is kind of a curve,
Right.
that settles around here. I tend to still play around here because I feel like 5% I can afford, but more than that, I'm very reluctant to go on. So that allows, what that does is it essentially dampens. It makes it a little harder to well. It makes it a little more realistic in your. Oh wow! I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. We're
These are
having some
awesome.
sound loop back issues, so give me just a second to try and
That's
figure
my
this out.
Big
For some
voice.
reason, you're looping back, but I'm not.
Well, maybe your mic's picking me up.
Maybe Twitch is muted, so that's not the issue. Where is the issue?
Now I'm mad that Derek didn't get around to this because he was going to talk about this and we ran out of time. I gotta find this guy.
It's much quieter now. All our microphone levels still okay? You guys can still hear us just fine? Maybe I just had the levels up too high in XSplit.
Get around to this because he was going to talk about this.
So let's see.
Anyways, so we have done that. We also added, and I think, have I officially met anybody? Oh, I don't have Universal Translator.
Levels still okay? You guys can still hear us just fine? Maybe I just had the levels up too high in XSplit.
If we have any questions, well, I'm kind of anyways, so messing around here.
They have said that the mod belongs to someone named Gauntlet, it looks like.
Well, congratulations, Gauntlet. It's awesome. And I can tell it was a lot of work.
Philipponus asks, are we going to get a better ship list in the designer? It's really hard to find a ship without almost any sorting options.
Yes.
Okay.
That is on my high priority list. Hopefully we'll have that in 1.6, which will come with, at the same time as the expansion.
And to answer your question, Lars and X, no, the ships that Paul was just looking at are not part of the DLC. They
No,
are
no.
somebody's mods.
No, these are somebody's mods.
He's just playing around because he's fascinated with them. So
No, yeah, they're pretty amazing.
yes, they are.
This I love. I mean, I can sit and look at the Steam. I mean, at the screenshot
Oh, I bet you could.
page for hours. It looks like. I mean, these are like this is one ship, right? But he designed it to be four. This is the type of thing that a modder can do that we really can't.
Right.
Because this is going to display as one ship, and people are going to be confused. Whereas he's like, screw it. I think it's cool, and it adds a new dynamic. They build smaller ships, so I love it. Anyways, what was I saying? We and we added this. So let me see what I should probably. I don't even know if these guys are copyrighted by somebody else. I apologize to whoever. Maybe these are original art. You can now go to this talk about something else. And in here you can ask people, well, nobody's on my territory, but you can ask people to get off your territory. And that will they will actually plot a course out of your territory if they agree. The way these work, I know there was a little bit of confusion on the forums, is these all have diplomatic modifiers.
Okay.
So if you ask somebody to get out of your territory and they like you enough, they'll be like, oh, okay. But then they'll like you a little. They'll go, man, he's bossy, and they'll like you a little less. If you really like them, you should get an open borders treaty with them, and it solves the problem, and it actually helps your relations. Whereas this will actually kind of hurt your relations, but you can get people off your territory. If they really are on the border of not liking you, and you keep asking them that, you can actually eventually drive them to hate you, and they'll.
Right.
And that's kind of the case with all of these. This is like this is essentially ask for a small. This is because I'm stronger than them. It's coming across as extortion. So if they were stronger than me, I'd be asking for some help.
Okay.
But if I'm asking them for money just so I won't kill them, I could say, here, give me some money. And this will also hurt my relations with them every time I ask them for money for nothing. And this 1.3 credits is actually a percentage of your, and it's so low right now because that's all the income I have or they have. It's like a percentage, like 5% of their income or 10%. And then this bottom one is like, hey, we want to butter you up. So this is the opposite. This will increase your relations with them, but it costs you money.
Okay.
All of these have different timeouts. Like most of them are for 50 weeks. And you can go through here, and you can also just say, "Hey, I really like you," and that will give you a relations boost with them. If they don't like you, it'll actually start annoying them. All of these have different.
Gotcha.
What else was big in? Let me start a soap because that way I can take questions. Oh wait, let me show one more thing. Okay, so we also added. I guess I need to research up to it. Maybe I should exit out of this and go to a regular. Let me go to start on normal game so I know where everything is. Those are pretty awesome ships, though. Here, just do. I'll start as the Kryn. Okay, you notice the Kryn now have this trait called coercion. If I play as I'm not going to play as the Kryn because it'll make it hard for me to show something else. But let me They pay as the Iconians for some reason. And I'll leave those other guys on the map because they're cool looking. If you start with a race that has coercion, you will now have the planetary wheel on all of your planets.
Okay.
Now you still have to pay the coercion cost, but you just you play it per planet. Now, if you go to the tech tree and if you research now, if you research up to now, you still have to pay the coercion cost. You play it. Now I'm paying coercion cost as to my earlier example of things you don't really want to do. I'm essentially making sure that this race will die if I soak. Okay, so now I'm going. My whole goal is to get up to interstellar governance. You get interstellar governance now. This Bureau of Labor improvement. So you're not playing. You don't want to waste your race trait on coercion because, and more importantly, I only care about managing these two particular planets that are my two hardcore planets. I want to be able to shift around. Those you can now build the Bureau of Labor, and that will unlock the production wheel on that planet, only one planet. And that's really nice because it gives you the ability. It lets you do it, but you can pick and choose which planets you want to do it on. It also, there's a cost to it, so you have to actually choose whether it's worth it because it takes up a tile. It does give a boost to anything adjacent to it, so it's not completely useless. But yeah, you don't necessarily need it. Like if you're playing the Kryn, you probably won't build it. If you're playing other races and you have a really busy planet or you have a big empire and most of your stuff is coming from two particular planets, you might want to build it. Do we have any questions while I'm...
Got a couple. Child's asking when they will get a counter showing how many turns until they're ready to talk to you again.
There, if you just look up here, well, it would be kind of, I guess we could put it in this tooltip, or we could put a tooltip over this, but that's what this little thing in the power bar is. So if you see that little symbol, that means they're willing to talk to you. If you don't see it, it means they can't. So that was my response to that, was to make it, because I was always like, well, when do I know? When do I know? But I tend to run with this bar up. So you can just click there and see who's willing to talk to you right now. Although I did, and to my dismay, I realized that doesn't include minors. So we might have to find another solution for that. Because the minors are who you want to exploit anyways. All right, so I go into here, and now I've got the Bureau of Labor. I build the Bureau of Labor. I'm just going to buy it. Hit turn. And now when I go to this planet, I can go to the govern window, and
somebody's asking if you would consider putting it in the diplomacy window.
So I go into here, and now I've got the Bureau of Labor.
The amount of turns till they're ready to talk to you again.
I think what we should do is just add it to this tooltip, because that's the same tooltip in both places.
Fair enough, yeah.
Yeah. Or we could put it over here. We could put those same little bars over here, because this does show all the minors. But actually, we could put it in both places. If we put it in the tooltip, though, it would actually maybe... I think what we should do is just add it. We could show more information, which is what they really want. They want to know, in 2 turns, I can come back to this guy. So I think maybe just adding it to that tooltip would be a good solution, because then it would work here and there. But actually, we could put it in both.
Right.
So we could just put it like at the bottom, your skill, and then your relations close, and diplomat. Next time we can talk 3 turns or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I like that idea.
Larsen X asks me to twist your arm and coerce you into telling them about the expansion. I'm not going to twist Paul's arm. We need him, and Brad might hurt me if I hurt
don't
him.
know what I'm allowed to talk about. So this is Brad's
These guys are always trying to trick us into saying
well,
stuff we're
Brad's
not supposed to
superpower is
say.
that he can essentially just say whatever he wants.
Yes, he can. He really can.
But I'm worried that I might get in trouble. I mean, not in trouble, but I might say something I'm not supposed to. So I probably won't. But I could talk about stuff we're gonna we're gonna continue to enhance.
Mhm.
But I don't want to talk about the new features because of
Right.
because marketing's a whole world that I am unfamiliar with.
I am becoming very familiar with it myself.
Oh, look at this! I somehow did like some hybrid cheat. Oh, okay.
How'd you
Anyway, so
manage that?
now that we've talked about that, oh, I'm gonna have to exit this, aren't I? Because I went from a cheat. I left without. I started a new game already with cheats on, and it didn't like that. Okay. Anyway, so now that we've talked about that, where did it go? There we go. So the other thing that we added is the. Oh, it's still running. It's not already running. This is embarrassing.
He's updating something.
Oh, it might be. I do have cloud saves on.
Oh yeah.
Okay, now you're just ticking me off. This is why you don't cheat.
Are we going to get a Galactic News Network?
We are going to get a Galactic News Network at some point in the future. I have a whole thing for it.
Oh, cool.
Right now, we have a lot. The truth is, I have a million things that I would like to go into the expansion and into future expansions, and it's really just it's more of a management.
How much you can do.
A management call as to when we put things in.
Right.
So that is why we do want to put the GNN in. The GNN will probably come in as just a patch. It won't be a DLC or anything.
Gotcha.
And also there's only so many pop-ups people want to see. So we have to be really careful with that.
No, that's true.
Okay, so I'm
And
going to
Larson X is asking if you will show some of the cool Precursor planets because the space elevator is so cool.
I'm glad people like the
We are
space
very
elevator.
glad.
I was worried the space elevator was too underwhelming.
I actually haven't seen it. I wrote about it and I read about it, but I haven't actually seen it physically.
Because it was really hard to
So
do.
I'm curious.
This is one of the few things where I actually got to do the art. Well,
Oh, did you?
art, and that I did the ship designs. So this is the Precursor satellite world.
Oh wow, look at that.
You know what? Actually, I'm gonna stop this.
Soak.
Because it was really hard. Oh, now I'm in trouble. I think that's it. Yeah, because I don't want them jumping. Okay. So this is the Precursor satellite world. This one gives you a really big range around it. Not that you can tell from the fog of war
Right.
off. And it also, any ships built on it get a big sensor boost range. So that's pretty cool. And then, so all of them have stuff like that. What I tried to do was make sure that each Precursor world did something that either wasn't possible before or we never did before. So here's the Promethean refinery. I think this one's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
This essentially gives you some free Prometheon, and also gives you. Oh no, it's good.
It kind of makes me think of a giant space spider, and that's something that doesn't sit well with me.
Oh, and all of the ships. Yeah, I actually think the file is named like Space Spider.
Is it seriously?
Yeah. We well, because I'm going, oh, that's cool. I don't know what to call it. I'll call it a Space Spider. This one will increase the range of any ships built by a shipyard that is being sponsored by
Right.
that. Let's see. Oh, and you can zoom out, and the purple planets are the Precursor worlds, and some of them are extreme. So here's the Precursor prison. Like you have to actually
that's really cool looking.
you have to actually get to atmospheric cleansing to even colonize that one. The extreme ones actually have slightly bigger bonuses. Like these ones start at 50%
Yeah.
instead of 30, and they also like the hard coded. So now here's the other thing that, and I hopefully everybody's. It was something that didn't really come across, I think, in the marketing because how do you express it? But the key to the precursor worlds is that they come with production,
Okay.
and normal worlds don't. So you essentially get 10 free production the minute you land on a precursor world. And then let's see, I wonder if they've just all been colonized. This is the precursor experimental. This is one that I just thought was so cool
That's fun.
that I put it in, even though I didn't know what to call it. So that's why it became the precursor experimental world. I just thought it was fun. And then so yeah, and these all come with production. Oh, look, there's two here, and then there's the precursor treasury, which is a big ring.
Oh, that's fun. I saw some pictures of that.
Yeah, and let's see. That was actually the first one or the second one I made. And then this is manufacturing world. I tried to make them all look a little different. Have some
They're
good
still
eye
in kind
candy.
of the same vein of style, though, which is
Yeah.
nice.
Where is the elevator? I
I was
wonder.
just gonna ask. I haven't seen an elevator
Okay,
yet.
let's see. Well, I think somebody might have already colonized it, because there should be one of each on this map. If not, I can restart. Precursor quarantine. This one is really neat looking.
Oh, hey.
I made it the precursor quarantine because I thought it looked a little bit like a biohazard.
It kind of does.
Here's the research world. And so the neat thing about all of these worlds is that they come with production, and then they come with production, and then as you research xenoarchaeology, so this gives you more of a reason to research up the xenoarchaeology tree. You get bigger bonuses, and I don't know if people realize that, because you have to kind of look at the tree to really understand it. But
Right.
each time you go up, those bonuses double, or they go up 100%. They don't double. I must not have this set on large. I think large is the first one where you're guaranteed to get one of each planet. It's a little
Gotcha.
insider dope. If you at medium, I think there's 9. Yeah, if you go all the way up, if you go to large, you'll get all of them. Maybe I'll drop out and do that. Although, yeah, let's.
While you do that, I've got some questions
Okay.
up here for you. Runafog asks, can we have a tooltip that tells us what the ideology bonus was when a planet was settled? Some of the bonuses are very difficult to figure out later on, in later turns.
That's a good idea. I mean, right now we only show you if it affects the planet.
right.
So it would show up in the breakdown of whatever stat it affected. But yeah, and we might have, the problem is there's not a lot of room on that screen. So we tend to err on leaving stuff off until it really proves necessary. But yeah, that is not a bad idea at all. Okay, so on large, let's actually get rid of some of these races too, so that we don't have to worry about.
Then Shazel asks, question, when you press the designer button from the main screen, you get a ship list. Can we get the ability to select multiple ships at once to easily delete them?
That would be nice. I would have to. I don't see how hard that would be. It's not something that's currently on my list. But as we are, as we talked about earlier, we want to work on that ship list in general. Maybe we can get some better functionality in there for that too, because it would be nice to be able to delete them. Wow, that's a lot of minor
Oh, good
races.
lord.
Okay, so let's see. All right, so there's the Thulium moon, and this is a Thulium node that's been captured and turned into a moon. This planet gives you
I like the way that looks.
free Thulium, and as you go up, this will go up to 20. So now,
Wow.
one of the things that I am kind of erring on the side of these days is more resources available, because they're much more fun when you have plenty
Right.
to make super death ships that will kill you. Plus, the AI is using it much better these days, so I'm more encouraged to jump into that.
Right.
Okay, so what's this? This is the Durantium cloud. This one's one of the simpler ones. This is just an asteroid field that's surrounding the planet.
Got a couple of comments too, Paul. Geno LR says the way the precursor planets are set to the map size tends to make low habitable planet galaxies feel unbalanced as the game makes sure that the minimum precursor worlds are in a game.
This one's one of the simpler ones. This is just an asteroid. Really? I mean, I guess that's true. But I mean, there's like the minimum I think is like 3. So I guess if you really wanted to do like, I mean, if you have that few worlds, you must have it really set to low. I guess.
Right.
Oh, I don't know about to do about that. Think about it. Maybe what we can do is tie that into the lower. What I don't want is people to get the DLC and never see a precursor world.
Right.
So that is why we had that min setting. I mean, right now, if you really don't like it, you could just go into the min settings and turn it down. But maybe we can tie it in into the planet thing a little more directly, because it is tied in directly. Why I still can't find the damn precursor elevator. Promethean refinery. There, accelerator's cool. I like the accelerator. But maybe we can tie it.
Oh, that's cool.
That's one of my favorites. This was actually inspired by Neil Stephenson's new book, where he had all these crazy chains.
Oh,
And I was like, oh, I'd love to do a chain, and I couldn't really think of a way to do a chain. But while I was playing with it, I came up with this. And,
yeah, that's cool.
It was kind of fun.
There are what, 12? Am I remembering that number correctly?
I don't think we ever officially say, because we don't want people to, dwell on the number, because you never necessarily see them all at once.
That's true.
But yeah, there's 12. Okay. Anyways, I'm a little upset that I haven't found the elevator. Is this it over here? Treasury.
Larsenik says on tourism bonuses, you can never see how much money you are getting from the bonus.
I guess that is true. You can see how much you're getting from tourism. It would be nice to have a better tourism tooltip. So we'll put that on my list, because I'm not in love, honestly, with the way tourism works.
Oh, really?
I'd like to modify it a little. I don't feel like it adds anything. It's just essentially a tech you research up to get some free money.
Right.
I'd love to kind of make it a richer mechanic. And hopefully that's something we can get around to in the expansion. I'm not in love, honestly, with the way tourism works. I mean, not that I don't love free money. So I'm upset that I
wish
can't
there
find
was
the
such a
elevator.
thing.
It's because he mentioned it that's the one I can't find.
Of course, can't find the elevator.
I'd love to kind of make it a richer mechanic.
Because now I want to see this thing.
Well, it's the funny thing about the elevator, and I tried to fix this, but it keeps slipping. Oh, there it is.
I don't love free money. So
Yeah.
I'm upset that I can't find it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, is that this? No matter how much I set this, well, this one looks pretty good. It does wander a little. So this elevator is slowly, like on a train track going across the world. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I like that one. Matter of fact, I'm playing a game right now, and my main world is a precursor elevator world, and it's
Right.
awesome.
Right.
All right, so those are the precursor planets, and each of the precursor planets. Is there one around here that I can get to? Oh man, I apparently started in a crappy place.
Matter of fact, I'm playing a game.
No fair. Maybe I can get out here.
All right, so those are the
Outside
precursor
of the
planets.
Oh, I know it's out of range. I didn't go there. Oh no, don't go there. It's pirates right there.
Again, pirates.
Yeah.
My favorite thing.
Anyway, so they're. I'll just turn on. I'll just cheat. So.
Range off.
Yeah, I'm a cheater.
Nice.
So. Here we go. Here. Boop. Oops. Do we have any more
Anyway, so
questions?
they're,
while I'm
Yeah, we do have a
cheating?
few. Let's see. Nautilus asks, can we have a mini-map on the starbase and planet screens too? This would be immensely helpful when I'm deciding which module to add to a starbase or how to develop a planet.
We do need to do something like that. I don't. I don't know if a mini map is the right solution, but yes, I'm trying to find a better.
It's in your
way to
head.
do that,
Gotcha.
yeah.
And Larsenik says, can we get a clear all for notifications?
There is a clear
We
all
do
for
need to do
notifications
something like
right
that.
here, clear.
Oh, let me take your. I have got our cameras on, so
Oh.
they can't see that. Hold on. Screen only.
I don't know if
That
it's
should
that.
clear all. If it doesn't, I'm a little concerned.
So you go ahead and show them that again if you want to put your mouse down there. So clear.
The problem is some things that are reoccurring will come back up, but
Gotcha.
but it is theoretically clears all.
Okay. And going down the list here, Ronan the Wizard says, you could put colonization event details in the planet govern screen somewhere. And I am curious, some
That's not a bad
colonization
idea.
events for Precursor worlds give empire-wide bonuses. If someone conquers the planet, do they get the bonus?
It depends on whether the bonus comes from the planet or if it's awarded to the faction.
Ah, okay. You could put colonization event details
In some no, actually they shouldn't. If it was awarded to the planet, yes, they might get it. I'd have to think about it. But as a rule, generally no. They will, however, get whatever the planet is giving. The nice thing is they won't, like, if it's a precursor world and they don't have xenoarchaeology, they won't get that.
No, actually, they shouldn't.
So
If it was awarded,
So that's
yes,
helpful.
they might get it. I'd have to think about it.
Okay, then the
As a
other thing
rule,
we
generally,
added,
no.
I was going to
They
go
will,
get a
however, get
precursor
whatever
colonizing event, but sounds like everybody's already
The nice thing is they
see them.
won't,
So
like,
we added new events for each of the new worlds, and that's essentially another way to kind of make those planets special. I will say that I don't necessarily recommend, and the game in general, I don't recommend playing with the precursor worlds or the precursor anomalies set to abundant, because kind of the whole point of them is that they're very powerful, and if you play them on abundant, and if you get a good luck of the draw,
I will say that
you can kind of
Right.
become a god really fast,
the game in general,
which is nice if what you want is the game to go quickly. But I like to keep them on a normal setting. Of course, if you're playing on abundant, you kind of know how it affects the game, so it's probably fine. So this is one of the precursor world anomalies, and essentially the point of these is like these have this big bonus.
which is nice if what you
But
want
what
is the game
else?
to go
What other big bonus
But
do
I
you
like
want? And then you get to pick. So, like in this case, this will give a plus 10% hit points to all ships, which is pretty amazing. Because that's not all ships built on the planet. That's all your ships everywhere. That's like a free race trade almost. So, all right. And then the other thing we added, and I might have to, I will die if I try and get one right away, is we added precursor anomalies. And the precursor anomalies are also very powerful, and they tend to do global things as well. And they all give a lot of money. So this is a precursor anomaly.
Oh, okay.
And these are pretty rare. Even on abundant, they shouldn't be that common. But they're also, you can see in big red words, defended. So if I fly in here now, I will die. Oh, I shouldn't have clicked battle, damn it. Anyways, yeah. So they have all these little versions of themselves that defend them, and they will kill you to death. And now I've lost my survey ship.
But they're also you can see in big red words,
So those are the things that are in the DLC. I really think it's a kind of a subtle DLC because it's mostly data and a little bit of art
So they have
assets.
all these little
But it really is a fun. It adds, especially if you're a pro and you're already used to how the things go. I would like to get the AI using the precursor worlds a little bit smarter because it kind of treats them as regular worlds right now. But I mean, he still gets all the bonuses. But if we can get him to kind of be a little smarter with that, that would be very cool.
Especially if you're a pro.
Oh, that's one of ours, right? Yeah.
That looks
I would
cool.
like to get the
Yeah,
AI
that's
using the precursor world.
The reflections look really nice.
We were just talking about this. In Galactic 2, here, let me see. See how shiny this is?
Yeah, I like that.
Like,
it's
see,
shiny.
that ship is really shiny. And then if you go to the Terran ships, which I just killed all of them, it's less shiny because we're using. Well, you see, there's like shiny materials on there that make it shiny. We use material. What's it called? Material-based light. No, there's a word for it. Anyways, we do different materials which have different textures and the way light affects them. We were just talking about how in Galciv 2 sometimes the ships stood out better, and it's because in Galciv 2 everything was just hit by one bright spotlight. And now, depending on, like, you can actually make a race that's pretty matte, and they won't show up nearly as well. Or if you make a really dark color.
That's
We were
interesting.
trying to figure out if there was some way. I mean, these guys all know. I mean, they essentially are picking materials that make the ships look awesome.
Right.
But not every. Like, this is a little dark, right? But the shininess kind of helps. That is awesome shipyard. Anyways, I guess so. Yeah, that's the DLC. And there's the only other real big deal. We have some, a lot of internal tweaks. But the AI is much better now at
Right.
bridge building, and will come across vast distances to kill you. And the only people who really notice this are people who play on scattered galaxies, where you've ever had the AI kind of feel trapped
Oh,
over
okay.
on one side, and you have to go over there to kill them because they never get the range to come get you. But yeah, so that's a kind of a cool enhancement that the AI has, even if it is a little subtle. And the only people who really notice this are man. He even modded the engine colors. Amazing.
Oh, wow.
So, any more questions?
Well, there's a remark that some people feel like the bonuses from Precursor anomalies are kind of overpowered. How do you feel about that?
I agree, but it's not. The problem is that there are too many of them.
Right.
So what I'm going to do is in the next patch, I'll cut them down a little bit. Right now, if you really feel that way, just lower your anomaly setting down a little bit.
Right.
Matter of fact, what I would like to do is get them in special so they round robin, kind of the way the planets do, where it makes sure there's like one of each. And then it doesn't put any more, so that it's like then it becomes a game to go find them and get that big bonus. Whereas right now, there was too few, and then at the last moment I upped them a little because I was worried there was too few. And now that I've been playing with it a lot, I realize there's too many. And
Right.
that is my life.
The game of balance.
That's the
right?
game of balance.
Give a little, take a
I might
little.
also steal a little bit of the money off them because it's a random, but the high end is pretty high.
Oh, is it?
And I was playing a game where I had like 10,000 credits all of a sudden, and I'm like, awesome. Although it is amazing how quickly you can blow through 10,000 credits when you start buying ships. I'm like, I'm going to go rush everything, and then like in 2 turns, I was broke. It's a random.
They have an AI question.
Okay, I can try and answer that.
Brad wrote sporadically on his grand division of data mining player decisions, tech, planet, ships to make the AI auto learn. How's that coming?
Well, that's more of a Brad subject. What we essentially do is we do glean like what the player does, not necessarily from the internet or from the sometimes from the metaverse, and we personally will then kind of push the AI one way or the other based on those things. We never have had the time to really make it mirror it. That's more of a Brad thing, and Brad is a very busy guy. So
Yeah.
I honestly feel like most of the time when it really and this is exactly the case, is that Brad will look at the thing and he calls it data mine, but he knows I know that this is a good strategy because I'm watching this, and then he
Right.
tweaks it, and you really need that. The best results we get is when a human player literally says the AI should be doing that. Why is he not doing this?
Right.
And you have to be careful. Like with the tech governors and stuff, I know we give the AI essentially a roadmap and say, okay, you're the Drengen and you're this way, so these are the techs you want. But even then, we still put in weights that kind of push it one way or the other, or we put in okay, now pick a random one based on a weighted tech, and that way, and those things, depending on the strategy and how the game is going,
Right.
it will push those decisions one way or the other. But you do want to be able to give essentially if I was a smart player, you know, what would I do?
Right.
You don't ever want the AI to look stupid. So a lot of times we err on the side of making sure. Ooh. He didn't apparently make new star bases for this guy. Anyways, yeah. So we don't really do that much of that. That's more of a Brad thing. He might be doing that type of stuff for
Right.
Ashes.
Oh, okay.
But we do a little bit of it, but it's more as a tool to help the AI designer kind of improve things. We learn a lot of stuff that we can make better by watching what the players are doing.
Well, Eris Child says, here's an AI example since we're talking about AI. When in defensive mode, the AI does not seem to fleet up. Why is that?
The AI does fleet up, but he does some stupid stuff, and that is one of the things we're working on fixing.
Gotcha.
We have actually a whole new AI fleet strategy that we want
If
to
you guys
do.
want to talk more AI specific things, maybe Alan will come pay us a visit again.
Yeah. Right, we actually have a whole plan to get smarter fleets. But the problem is what the AI will do is go, I can't beat him with this fleet, so I'm going to build a fleet, and the fleet's not full yet.
Right.
So it'll just sit there and wait until the fleet is full. And in the meantime, it seems like I can't build a full fleet. I can't build a full fleet, so I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait and wait till I can. In the meantime, the players come over and kill them. So we actually have worked on that to be a little better. It should be a little better these days.
Right.
Offensively, the AI is pretty good at building fleets.
Okay.
It's defensively, it over relies on its planetary defenses. And see, he's just building guys. He's probably, look at that. He's got like a zillion ships in here. So he thinks he's safe, right? This is awesome. And he thinks he's safe, but once the player comes over and wipes this out, these are awesome. What was the guy's name again? Goliath?
No, it was a Gauntlet, I believe.
Gauntlet. This is
If I'm recalling
amazing.
correctly.
This is amazing. Congratulations, Gauntlet. Thank you for doing this.
Ronan the Wizard. Go ahead.
Anyway, so yeah, that's one of the things that we're working on now is better fleet management for the AI.
Gotcha. Ronan the Wizard asks, are there any plans to improve terraforming? As of right now, he doesn't feel like it's really worth researching.
What?
Oh, Paul disagrees.
Oh my God, yes, I disagree.
Tell us why.
As a matter of fact, oh wow. Actually, ask the chat. Does everybody else feel that way?
How do you guys feel about terraforming? No, granted, they're on like a
2
15 second
minute
delay.
okay,
give
so
them a second. But
terraforming is like one of the first things I researched.
oh, really?
You're essentially upgrading your planet, and with adjacency bonuses, if you play it right, you can get huge numbers by doing proper terraforming. So worth it. I guess it all depends on your play style. If you're a base builder like I am, and you want strong planets that eventually you can just puke out giant death fleets from, or if you're doing diplomacy or stuff, terraforming is great. As a matter of fact, I always give terraforming to all the miners so that they get their planets really high quality, so that when I take them from them, they're already done. I feel. I mean, as a matter of fact, it used to be very overpowered because we actually had a tech where if you got high enough, you could terraform almost the entire planet.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was, and we had to get rid of that one because it was just
Too much.
you'd have a class 50 world, and it was just ridiculous. Right now now we limit it to one of each class, so you can get any planet, like you can get Earth up to like a 21, and you can get like a 20 up to like a 24 or 25.
Right.
And that, if you play it right by good use of adjacency, I mean, is a huge advantage. As a matter of fact, it's one of the things we spent a lot of time making sure
Right.
the AI knew how to do.
Several people have said that they agree with you on terraforming.
Yeah,
that they feel like
it
it's
is one of those things where
essential.
I could see how you were like, oh, it's just a tile. It's like, oh no, but it's a tile you get to place.
Yeah, Ronan mentions between better factories and one extra tile, I choose better factories. So It's just an interesting.
Well, you do both.
right. I guess
Is
that's an
you
option
always
too,
go
isn't
get
it?
the better factory, right? I mean,
Right.
you're always going to be researching up the factory. That's not something that's not optional. But then you go, oh, I've got the extra factory. Because I mean, most people, and I can tell this from the data, a lot of people research up the tree. Here, matter of fact, let's get over.
You always go get the
Um,
right. I mean, you're always going to be researching up the factory.
I mean, like the most common first research tech is xeno-industrialization.
Okay.
And then it goes up to like here. And if you and people kind of pitter out around here, but there is no reason ever to skip getting all of these. These are nothing but
Fair enough.
the great advantage. Research is probably the second most valuable thing. The funny thing is, a lot of people won't research so much because they just get up to a high enough level
Right.
to where they can puke out thousands of decent ships.
Mhm.
But man, if you go up the research tree, all of a sudden the late game goes so much faster.
Oh, really?
But anyways, that's not really the point. But so yeah, you're gonna get this. But terraforming is pretty high on my list. I usually go, up here, then here, and down to here because you need to get your planets. As a matter of fact, you get one terraforming tile from here already, and then I go to here for sure. And then if you need extreme worlds, you might want that.
Right.
But once you're kind of at a good setting, if your planets are settled well and you're starting to really ramp up, I start grabbing terraforming techs like crazy because they make a huge difference
Right.
in the long run. They can turn Mars into like a paradise, and it's totally worth it. Anyways.
Runefog had kind of a neat little note. They said, I'd like to see an aquatic race that cannot use land tiles, i.e. all their developed tiles are underwater.
I actually wanted to do
That's
that
kinda
for the
cool.
Taurians,
Oh, really?
and I haven't
Now, which
ruled
ones
it
are the
out.
Taurians? I'm sorry.
The Taurians are coming in. I guess I could talk about that. They will be in the expansion. The Taurians and
Oh.
the Archeans will both be in the expansion.
Okay, so they're
They're
not any,
two
they're not
new,
anything we have
not
now.
new. They're old major races that are coming back. They're going to
I
be
gotcha.
all new ship styles, all new ships, all new parts,
Hey,
bunch
there's some
of
of your info,
awesome
guys.
new parts, and new tech trees. So I'm having to come up
cool.
with clever things for their tech trees. And my thought was, what if the Taurians? Here, let me go to.
Hey, I'm new here, okay? They're like, who are the Taurians? Heresy. I'm sorry.
Okay, the problem is this: if I invert this map, right, which is what my first thought was,
Okay.
to be usable tiles. If all the water was usable, this would be like a class 60 planet.
It'd be crazy, right?
right? So then I'd have to do like a pick and choose, which means we're doing a bunch of crazy math. Then also it's like, well, do I have to give them all brand new improvements for everything? Do I have to have the water factory that
Right.
looks a little different? What I am probably going to do is give them some improvements that can be built anywhere. So that will
Okay.
essentially be like, so you can
That's
build this
cool.
in the water. But I'm still playing with it. I would love to invert it. If I can come up
Yeah.
with a cool gimmick, and for sure they'll get like water worlds
neat,
for
yeah.
free
Oh, awesome.
and a couple things like that. Because and we didn't really actually make much of this in Galciv 2, but they're an aquatic race, and it would be nice to kind of
Apparently, they are the tastiest of all the races.
They
is
are
what they're
the
telling me here
tastiest.
in the
The
chat.
It says somebody who plays the Drengen a lot.
Yes, I can
Yes.
see that.
I
Lord
love
Kona
these
apparently
shipyards. This
approves.
is amazing.
There was another really good question that I feel like I lost somewhere because I'm.
Yeah. So I am thinking about doing that. I also, and this won't be anytime soon, but I really want to make a race that builds in the asteroids.
Oh, really?
But there's not an easy way.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Looks like somebody's gone to war. Like so. Yes. Actually, looks like a bunch of people.
Maxim Gaming is asking, will you introduce a way to swap production allocation focuses on planets without having to enter every individual planet screen by patch 1.6?
So he wants essentially be able to change the focuses on the colony screen.
Is that what
I
you're
think
asking?
that's-
Maxim? Kinda
That
sounds
would
like
be
it.
the only way. It's not a bad idea. That's just damn so few little room on this
Man,
damn
you
screen.
Drengen players are mean. Some of the comments here, those poor Torians.
Well, it's a long-held tradition. There was a, the Torian fire chili recipe in our,
We
things
actually,
like
for
that.
for the chili making contest, I ate Torians that day. That's
I'm
weird.
pretty sure it was chicken, but it
I
might
think it
have
was
been
turkey, but I guess
Yeah.
that was the implication. No,
So
Aaron
yeah,
made
I
Torian
like
fire
the
chili.
idea. It's one of those. It's a UI challenge. That is the reason why we
Right.
don't currently have a way to do that.
Gotcha.
Maybe here, but the screen is so damn crowded already. There's only so much more I can add because we have to support smaller resolution.
He adds
screens.
a global way would be nice, or adding on planet cues.
So you just want to be able to say all planets use this focus. Oh, we could do it through commands. That's not a bad idea. All planets using this focus use this focus. All planets using no focus use this focus. That's not a
Gotcha.
bad idea. We even have a planets tab already. I will put that on my wish list. I can't guarantee it anytime soon, but I
Right.
like that. That would be a cool way to fix that. That's not a bad idea. All planets using this focus use this focus. Hey, look, here's one of our ship styles. I'm glad that at least some of my ships. Whoa,
It just took off on you.
that's a lot of. Oh, this must be a minor. Yeah, it's a minor. One of the other things we did in 1.5 is, and most everybody playing here won't really notice, is we made it default to having minors available. Wow, I must have the resources cranked up. Look at that.
Man.
One of the other
Awesome.
things we did in 1.5.
Guys, we're nearing the end of our hour here, so if you have any additional questions, you might want to slip them in now, and we'll try to get to them before Paul and I go back to work.
Yes, I have a lot to do and very little time to do it because
Isn't that
stupid
always
Christmas.
the case?
Stupid Christmas is getting in my way. And Fallout 3, Fallout 4. is getting in
Yeah,
my way.
yeah. Have you beaten that yet?
Oh God, no. No, I'm a big Bethesda fanboy.
Did you play Skyrim too then?
Oh yeah,
That was the first Bethesda game I ever
I
actually
played the
played.
crap out of Sky. Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh wow! Holy crap!
That's another shipyard.
Can I say holy crap? Holy cow!
Yeah, that is amazing. And look, he even managed to use a material ID where the rock looks natural.
That's neat.
No,
Wow.
How is it? I've never seen this. This is a very high poly thing, though. This is. We tried to, for minimum specs, we have to keep things pretty simple. I love the fact that you can do this, and the game. Look at that. The game's running fine, and those are. Almost all of this guy's ships are.
Yeah.
Are like 5 times above
Wow.
our ceiling of acceptable. So I'm really it makes me a happy camper. This is why when people ask why we did 64-bit and why we require 8 megs of memory, well, I
Right.
guess maybe we don't. We should require 8. Why we recommend at least 8 gigs of memory?
Mm-hmm.
It's for reasons like this, because of mods like this.
All right. Some question slews. Chazelle asks, "Can we get an option for even slower research? I want to be forced to stay in certain text for a while."
Even slower research. I'm trying to think. We did add the galaxy size, and he still feels that it's too slow. Too long. You know what? I'll look at the settings. Maybe we'll just adjust if you really feel that way. Maybe the paces need to be goosed a little. So I will take a look at that.
Okay.
Yeah, matter of fact, it's so weird because this is a balancing thing, is that depending on your map settings and how you play and your strategy, things either take way too long or go way too fast. And it's really hard for me to balance. So I will look into that. If just having a bigger penalty on the slow research spinner, addressed some players' concerns, I would not be opposed to that at all.
Okay. To answer, a couple of people have asked the question of when our next dev stream is. There will be a stream next Wednesday with Scott and I for Sorcerer King modding. Friday is Stardock's movie day. We are all taking off, most of us, to go see Star Wars. I don't know, Paul, are you going to see Star
Oh,
Wars?
yeah.
So we will not be here on Friday for a stream, and then our holiday break kind of comes and punches us in the face. So Paul and I are done until the new year.
Yeah.
So you will not have any more Galciv. I'll try to get us on a Galciv stream as soon as we can when we get back. But
I just show up when they tell me to go.
yeah, yes. Paul, I say, Paul, we're having a stream, and he says, okay.
Today
And,
was the only time I ever actually had to change or to go out of my way because I was supposed to be doing a marathon today or tomorrow, and I'm in bad
Well, we're
shape,
glad
so
you're
I
here.
skipped it.
Gotcha.
Otherwise, I would be in Alabama right now.
Alabama, really? Wow.
It was the Rocket City Marathon. It's tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
If anybody wants to go claim my bib, they can. These are great. I love the fact that he used these asteroids.
Yeah,
That was
that's
something
really
that
cool.
I always wanted to make a race of ships that is entirely made of asteroids. That'd be awesome.
That's fantastic. Got a couple of other little things that we can maybe answer real quick. Let's see. When I move a ship a long distance, I seem to lose leftover moves at the end of the last turn. Is that working as designed? I'm assuming that's
That
what
should
WAD
not
stands for.
happen. I'm wondering. I would have to see a specific example
Okay.
of what happened. It might actually be somehow like just a misrepresentation of the number
Right.
or something. But no, that should never happen.
Okay. And Jono LR says, for some reason, at least for me, the negative P variant of core ship designs aren't unlocking and appearing on the build list.
A negative P. Oh, really? You probably don't have the tech, but I mean that's the only reason I could think. I'll check and make sure they're pointing to valid text. But yeah, they wouldn't show up unless you have whatever tech unlocks the. I think that's P is for like
Gotcha.
penetration or something. So it's like the thing that cuts through shields and defenses.
Right.
So you'd have to look for that. So I'll check on that and make sure that that is the case. But it probably is literally just you might not have the right tech unlocked. These are great. I want who's our. All the nerds are probably like, those are of course from
He
this.
says he cheated to check and they still didn't appear, so we're not really sure, Jono, but
Okay, well I will check
call
on
them
that.
if it's
I don't know. Oh, maybe. No. Yeah, that should work. I'll check on it, and
Okay.
if it's just a invalid thing, I'll make sure it gets in the next patch.
And I see some other notes that you guys are leaving specifically for Paul, and I'll let him read those in a second when we're done here. So, that about wraps this up, I think, unless you have
Look at
anything
that. That's
additional
crazy.
to add before we go, Paul.
That shouldn't ever happen. This is random number theory at its best. That's crazy. No, I think that's good. We're hard at work on the first expansion, and it's like 100% of my focus at this point. So
Yeah.
if I seem a little bit disconnected, that is why. But
It's all
hopefully
right.
we'll be able to start showing stuff from it at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
I just don't want to. I don't want to preempt
Right.
marketing.
Yeah. We got to do stuff, I guess. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Scott and I will be back with Sorcerer King on Wednesday for a modding stream since we had to cut this week short since Scott is also super busy. And then we are going on our holiday break and will not be back to the new year. So for you guys, have a wonderful holiday season and enjoy your new year from us here at Stardock. And we will see you in a few weeks.
Happy holidays.
Bye, guys. Merry something, whatever the thing.